Hello to everybody from Tiverton, Bead and Full Shop, and welcome to our podcast number 2. There will be some follow-ups from our podcast number 1, as you would expect, because we are talking about projects, what we are working on, new things, and so on. So welcome for you, for those of you who are new, and of course welcome our regular subscribers. And so hopefully you will enjoy this one. So what do we start with? The first thing is, like I said, there will be some things which I will be referring back. But do you remember this one, the magic of this cowl? It's exactly the same as this one, but in a podcast number 1, we showed you what happens, and this one was where these things happen even with the best ones. You know, when you think like, oh, everything happens first time. No. We make mistakes. And what it is, this lovely cowl, same as this one, is knitted on the machine. As I acquired a new old machine, and I was very chuffed that this machine knits patterns. So I have a little punch card I can put in and then just work my way through. And the machine does the pattern. So what I thought, I will knit a rectangle, fold it inside out, and then I will stitch up and graft the end so it turns into circle. Just do not forget to leave a gap for turning it back to the right side. Oh yes, I did all that, but when we turned it, so it didn't work out. So basically go back to our podcast number 1 and you will see what I'm talking about. However, meanwhile, I have managed to unpick what I have done and I have stitched it back by hand the correct way. And I think this one is working absolutely gorgeous. Look at the color changes. The yarn I used for this one is these little Ito yarn parcels. They are 70% alpaca, 20% wool. And for all this, which is double-sided, oh, you can see now I found where is my grafting, because I couldn't find it. I was trying to show you. I thought I will put it out so you can see it. So that's my grafting line where I have stitched the ends, and there is a seam on one of the folds, and same is for this one. So this one, Tucci, 2 colors. One was candy, another one is called stone. So I used 2 of them and 2 of them, and it ended up like this. So, which I think is quite interesting. The one I'm wearing, that one is exactly the same pattern, but you can see how different it looks in the different yarns. For this one, I used 1 skein of each color of Malabrigo sock yarn, which is again very soft, very nice to wear, and very, very, just pleasant. And the colors are quite vibrant, and it's interesting how much the purple has taken over. So, so that's my experiment with this pattern. So if we go any further, the other project which I covered last time, or you saw the beginnings of, and that one is this scarf. Actually, it's not a shawl, it's a scarf. And this one you saw on the needles a couple of weeks ago. And this project actually worked out really well, in my personal opinion. You might have different ones, but this one worked out first time. And this is sometimes it happens and sometimes it just doesn't. And this color combination I think works really nice in real life. So if I put it closer, you can see. And this one actually is combination of, oops, I think that's one thing which I put a bit too far away for me. Oh, I can't reach. But it's basically a combination of Isager yarns. Below I will put you a link because it has spinny, kid mohair, and Highland. Yeah, oh, there's the Highland. I thought I lost it for a minute. And there's a kid mohair as well. So this one is already available as a kit. And like I say, the color worked out nicely, at least in my opinion. It's really nice and soft. And the scarf has worked out really nice long length, so you can wrap it around, and it's quite lightweight because it has the kid silk. It just makes everything very, very light. So, and because this one worked out so nicely, you see, I thought like, ooh, I like the pattern. It's very, very easy. And I like the effect. Let's do you another color. And this is things when these things didn't happen again. Because I'm in love, totally in love with this color. I can see the camera shows you the color slightly more lemony than it is in the real life. In the real life, does it show better? Yes, that's a bit better. That's more real color. So, it's Issachar tweed, and I saw this one on their trade stand, and I thought I have to have the range. I can't live without this. But, however, I've been lusting around this for at least a few weeks now. And I thought like, ooh, I will try this with this. And there is my unwound ball. And a couple nights ago, I sat down and I started to experiment, right? And what I started with, as there is a color combination which I have done swatches for, the Issachar yarn combinations for marling. Yeah, that's the technical term people call when you combine two yarns and knit two strands together, they call it marling. It was new to me like some time ago, but yeah, so that's the technical part. But this is the color which I really like. It's not really color which I should be wearing, but I love that color. So, which is spinny and kid mohair together creates that color I showed you, which is basically, that's how the skein looks, and that's the kid silk. And when you combine the two strands, you get that color. So now I'm thinking, ooh, I love this and I love this. How about putting those together for the scarf? Good idea, isn't it? This is not how it works. So there is my little swatch, which has another experiment on it as well, but it will be all, after this video, it will be all ripped to bits. This is how it looks. And it doesn't look anything nice at all. I found even as much as I like the ruggedy look of tweed, it has totally distorted the lines, as the scarf is called only lines, so you can't see the pattern at all. So, which was kind of a bit disappointing, and there's nearly no contrast between the two yellows. So the next thought was, I need a bit more contrast. How about adding something stronger, like that, right? So we could do, sorry, I have so many things piled up here to show you that everything is kind of at the moment slipping. So I thought, how about this? So the green will maybe create more contrast. Nope. The top of this sample is the green. It's slightly better because you can start this, you can see the stripes starting to appear there. But still, the stitch definition is definitely not what I would expect, because you can see how stripy this one looks. So I need to think again. I need to kind of play with the colors, and I will keep you updated. But this, my beautiful, beautiful yellow, just doesn't work with yellow. So, which is a sad thing, but hey, we learn. And that, I think, is a part of the beauty of knitting. You can experiment, you can play, you create what you like. And now then, next. What do we have next? So that's for the hand knitting. Now then, for machine knitting, I always looked on the kid silk, and I thought it has a potential. And to be honest, in the trends and all the companies at the moment, I think the kid silk is something which is coming on trend very, very strongly. So watch this season. There will be a lot more kid silk, a lot more mohair, a lot more kind of what I call fluffy stuff coming in. However, as I had some fluffy stuff in the shop, and I thought I would like to try, I have done on the machine machine does my oldest one, which is like, I would say really, it's Knitmaster 302, I think. So which is, I think it's 70s. So, but it does basic stockinette stitch beautifully. And I know the camera distorts the color a little bit, but this one is really beautiful plum. And what I have done on the edges, I have added a bit of sparkle. Can you see that? Just a gentle, that line just has a little bit of sparkle. And what it is, I just went into the sewing shop and I bought sparkly metallic sewing thread. As I don't sell sewing threads in a shop, so I thought like, oh well, but I want something which is just, see, the thread is very, very fine. And when you add it to kid silk, which, oh, there is a little bit of leftovers on the cone, and a shame that this kind of the nice juicy plum really doesn't show in the camera. But that and that together just creates that gentle, gentle shimmer, which I quite like. Because the other thing, which I will try today, I will try to make this into the poncho. But that I will show you next time. It will be kind of experimental. With all these things is sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, as you can see. So don't be afraid to experiment. And if you think even, like sometimes people come in a shop and they think like, oh, lucky you, everything happens first time. They don't see my reject draw and they don't even see things which I'm not showing you here in a video, which aren't happening. They just don't happen. They go straight in the draw. And yeah, so another little project which I have started is this little baby cardigan. Oh, where's the book? Sorry. There's the book. Which is the new Rowan yarns for babies. And it's all done in a cash soft merino, which is beautiful, beautiful, soft, soft, soft thing. But as always, when the yarn is only in a ball, it's sometimes very difficult to say how it looks and how it feels knitted up. So, and I was kind of like looking through the book and I thought, oh yeah, that's nice. Let's do this one. Easy, simple, straightforward, that cardi. And I will do it in this pink. And this pink is funny because in the ball, like that, and again, nope, I think that shows you better. Here the pink looks very pale, but in the ball, the pink looks quite strong. And then when I started knitting, the pink just turned into very, very pale, nice, a lovely thing. And that's another thing. I thought it's so funny. You know, people sometimes come in the shop and they start to read and they ask me, like, they bring these patterns in and they take out sentence from the middle of the pattern and, oh, what's I supposed to do? Well, I don't know. Do what it says. Because honestly, I never read pattern from A to Z before I start. I read patterns only on need to know basis. And I know maybe it's not correct way to do it, but why on earth I would read the pattern? It would bore me to tears, and I still would not know where I'm going. Once you put the yarn on the needles, you know what's happening. And this one is the classic situation when I didn't read the pattern. You know, the picture I showed you. I even didn't bother to look on a big picture. I was listening through the pattern part of the book. Didn't look on a big picture. Yeah, lovely, simple, straightforward, stockinette stitch. I could do it. I cast it on stitches, read how many I need to do for the rib, and then I started knitting. And they tell me to do a funny thing there in the center. And only then I realized that this pattern has the most beautiful little cable on the back. Look how pretty is that. And I think this is the classic situation. So, ooh, I found out later that this one has a cable. If you don't want to do the cable, just carry on kind of regardless. So I have done 2 fronts, 1 sleeve and the back. So there is potential, but in the next podcast you will see the finished article. Yeah, and then of course when I found that the pattern has a cable, I was like, well, why don't they show the cable roll on the pattern? Why there is no picture of the cable? Well, there is a picture of the cable. If you look on the large picture of the cardi, you can see the cable, won't you? So there we go. Things happen even with the best ones. Right, so we have covered that. We have covered that, and that. Yeah, so that's just about it for today. So I've been trying to be quick and not to go to the long explanations of all sorts of things. But yeah, so we're kind of working our way through summer. There will be some lot of new things, new colors coming. Next time I will show you, I want to do these ones in a few more colors. And then they possibly will be online, available to buy as ready to wear items. And yeah, so I have done 2 of them. One of them, finished one of them. Baby cardigan started. Another color for the scarf in the process. And yeah, I think I have covered most of things what happened. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the shop or shopping online. And please subscribe if you like it. And all the links to the scarf kit and the yarns you will find below in the description of the video, and I will put links as well so you can have a look on everything yourself. So thank you and see you all soon.